are you prepared to tolerate any kind of opposition in Eritrea?
What kind of opposition? Agents hired by the CIA from Langley, or opposition from inside, or any kind of opposition?
There was something of a crackdown against the opposition by the Eritreans, by your government in 2001. Journalists...
Never. Not at all. Not at all. You are disinformed. There has never been any opposition in this country. This is a total lie. And if you're talking about a political process, that is a different matter. If you're talking an opposition that has been fabricated and created by Langley, then you would call that an opposition. I would not call that an opposition.
Well, but you did close down the free press, and, you know, just to get to some specifics, there were 2 Eritreans who worked for the US Embassy in Asmara who were imprisoned. They have not been put on trial yet.
You're coming back again with the same list of questions provided to you by the State Department or the CIA, and you're trying to make this issue a political issue in the name of Al Jazeera International. I can assure you, freedom of press, if you mean the press that is financed by conglomerates in the world, financed by military industry in the world, if you think the financing and managing of media, the CNN, BBC, or even Jazeera International, by special interest groups is freedom of press, I can tell you we're not party to that kind of freedom of press.
Damn! But you have rejected millions of dollars in aid.
We don't want to be spoon-fed. We would like to live on our toil and be enabled to secure food for our people. That's what we do, and we don't want to be crippled by food aid that is linked to an agenda of dependency, and we've overcome this by denying and rejecting food aid intended for crippling us.
President, I can understand that you don't want to be spoon-fed, as you say. You want to be self-reliant, you want to be self-sufficient, but there are food shortages in Asmara.
Who told you that?
Well, we just had a report from the French news agency which says there are shortages of things like bread, that people have to use ration cards to get food from state stores, that there is a black market in food supplies.
This is another fabrication. Go and talk about food shortage in the United States. Ask people in the streets of the United States who are compromising, who are even sacrificing their breakfast, their dinner, or their supper because the food supplies there are not enough, because prices are going high. And we would like for those who are interested to address this issue, look otherwise. And people telling you that food shortages in Asmara are very unique under the circumstance, that would be a total fabrication.
When you talk about a solid basis and foundation for your economy, what are you talking about? Because I saw a World Bank report which says that the Eritrean army actually accounts for 11% of your workforce, of your labor force.
The World Bank can say anything, they can fabricate figures. We witnessed this happen not only in Eritrea but elsewhere. I wouldn't take World Bank figures seriously. This could be a distortion of figures by the World Bank or other financial institutions of an agenda to tell the outside world that the economy is not healthy in this country.
When you talk about the mobilization of the country's youth, are you not concerned that there has been a major exodus of youth from Eritrea to other parts of the world?
Not at all. Think about the 10 million Mexicans who are crossing the Mexican border to the United States. It looks like you're talking on behalf of the United States and the administration in Washington, and your list of questions seem to be provided by, I don't know, someone in Langley or the administration in Washington. I'm not bothered about these accusations. I can assure you these lies will be repeated again and again with no leverage on the ground.
Wow.